Nintendo!
Hey everyone, welcome back with Abino Mac, where this week we're going to continue our playthrough of Super Smash Brothers Brawl. This time we're going for a big boy attempt here though, and this is boss battles on very hard with Mario. And keep in mind, this is very hard, however it's not even the highest difficulty. It's like night and day in my opinion to freaking hard mode. But the good thing about boss battles and why I think I'm going to be able to kind of like beat this on the highest difficulty is everybody, like all the bosses, they just have patterns and they're very simple patterns, and holy shit, I almost just died. And you know, it's just about learning the patterns and stuff like that. However, I believe very hard adds a few new tricks to these bosses and stuff like that as well that I have to look out for. And keep in mind, if I die once, that's it. It's over. All she wrote. Can't do anything about it. So we got a decent start though, because we're taking out some of the heavy hitters early on. We got Riddler, Diddler, taking out both of his forms. Ideally, you would want, at least how I think of it is, I would want to have Crazy Hand. God damn it. I would like to have Crazy Hand and Master Hand as like the last two, because they are obviously by far the easiest ones. And I feel like there's another easy one, because I can't think of off the top of my head, but I'll point them out when we get to them. But someone that I'm not looking forward to fighting is Duan. And oh man, we got the second easy, the other one easy one that I was thinking about, and that is be Piranha. Because, I mean, he is obviously being the first boss in the entire game. You know, he's not somebody to mess with. You know, I always found those little underpants things they wears to be like the most disturbing part of his whole design. His bloomers. Looking like Mr. Krabs' mom's freaking underwear from the Panty Raid episode. But it is interesting that he keeps coming back in a lot of games, even in, you know, modern games. You know, the last one I remember him in was Tennis Aces for the Switch, and I think he was even in quite a few more other than that, but I just can't think of it off the top of my head. I think he even came back in Super Mario Party All-Stars. You know, like I think he replaced like a generic... Whoa, holy shit! I didn't know that was even possible. I can damage him by having the missiles come back to him. That was massive damage too. Whoa, God. That is definitely going to come in handy for my intense playthrough. And yeah, I'm not even going to waste any hearts or anything like that on freaking Crazy Hand, because, you know, he's just not going to get his hands on me in general, or I guess his hand. But yeah, to finish my point, I think in Super Mario Party All-Stars, when they kind of remaster some of the minigames, the biggest bullshit minigame in the entire series, in my opinion, is a 1-on-3 one. It's where the three people, they're on a cloud, they have to ground pound the cloud to produce rainwater to grow and make, you know, this plant that is chasing the one player, you know, go faster. And the idea is, you know, by feeding it and getting it, you know, the rainwater it needs by ground pounding, you know, eventually you're going to be able to catch the player if the player messes up or, you know, isn't going as fast as they need to, especially since the one player has to miss, you know, the one player has a few obstacles that they have to get past. And the one player, I mean, they can mess up like 5 times in the game. It's like, it's practically programmed to, like, you'd have to actually try to lose to, you know, lose that one player. If you're the one player, is what I mean to say, you would actually have to essentially try to lose, because it's nearly impossible for the 3 players on the cloud that are having the plant chase the one player win, because it's just, I don't know. The plant can just never get to past the halfway point to capture the one player. And the one player, I mean, it's like, you know, they rarely ever, even if they mess up like 3 times in a row sometimes, they still will not reach the you know, fall behind the halfway point. So it's a really bad designed minigame just in general. So it's crazy to me to think that they thought it would be a good idea to even, you know, have it, you know, call it one of the best 100s and stuff like that. By far one of the worst. And Rayquaza was actually someone I did not expect to get my butt kicked so thoroughly from, because I had to do this multiple times, and he was always the one that got me, and it sucked. But other than him, I mean, he was the only one that killed me in my run-up, except for the final boss, Taboo. And Taboo is such a horse shit boss, especially on the higher difficulties. I forget if it's on hard. I think it starts on very hard and intense, in which you get hit by his, wave attack, where he spreads his wings and it has like the 3 waves that come out. Instant death, even if you have 0% damage. And the thing that I had to find out the hard way was, I believe on intense and very hard, is that the speed of that attack can change. So, I don't know, man. I mean, it's literally like you have to have, crazy reflexes. You can go faster, it can go slower, coming out, stuff like that. It's just such a bullshit boss fight. And the irritation of it, knowing that he is always the last one, and going through all the trials and tribulation, I mean, him being by far the worst boss to have to face. And even just on top of that, he's also just pretty difficult, even without that move. And has some pretty crazy moves, especially like, the one where like it can randomly he'll randomly, when he does his teleport thing, sometimes he'll just leave like an explosion behind him every time he does it. Every time he does it, like not that time, obviously. But, if you get caught in that, especially, at a decent damage, above 50%, you're dead. You are finished. So it's like god damn it. So the issue comes from the fact that, like, there's just an unpredictability to this guy, and, because you can't continue, it's just like, you're doing all this hard work to get back, and then you just get your ass obliterated. Like, it took me way too many times. I think it took me like 10 times of just coming back from the dead. And, it's not just one attack, one hit you have to avoid on that. It's all 3 of them, or else you're dead. And also, the timing changes because you get closer and closer to him, or, you get further and further away from him. And it is tight timing, let me tell you what. Even just in general, like, takes a lot of damage, and obviously he's in the air a lot. So you have to essentially just time everything, and you don't really, I don't get to use the attacks that I want to use a lot of the time as well. It's not even like a master hand in which, some attacks you can still head off the ground and stuff like that. Plus he's always moving. He's just holy shit, I thought I just died. But that's what I'm talking about. I guess it's not 50%, but, and you have to take the chance, because if you don't hit him and go for the attacks, then it's like, well, alright, fuck. What are you gonna do? Come on, man. See, I hate me. I'm scared, fellas. I'm scared. Oh, God. Go. Alright, we got him. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out next week's episode on Nintendo Tuesday. But also, please remember to have a nice day. Oh, and ring that notifications bell to be notified of daily content.